Hi, I'm Lai. Welcome to Discount Dive, the show where I'm finally trying vocal training, so be nice or I will cry. Has there ever been a more important, unimportant character than Jolt? Like, the Bay movies are filled to the brim with unimportant characters with no names and no screen time, no personality. Jolt is on screen for like 0.5 seconds or something. But on the other hand, without him, Optimus wouldn't have been revived. But that fact is so unimportant to Hasbro that the Revenge of the Fallen set comes with the RC triplets instead. The RC triplets. The RC triplets. Probably has something to do with the fact that Jolt is still on sale at BBTS at this point, so I'm guessing they didn't have much interest in reissuing him. Big screen inspired, scale, detail, backdrop, pyramid desert battle, which is confusing because I'm pretty sure that's the Chicago background. I'm also pretty sure that Jolt wasn't in Chicago in Dark of the Moon, and I cannot for the life of me think of a single moment where he is in the desert in Revenge of the Fallen, so little bit of a shambles as far as the packaging goes. But yeah, I don't have much attachment to Jolt as a character because, you know, how could you? But I really like when the movie bots turn into just normal cars, so I thought this would be a fun one to add to my collection. And for like $20, it, you know, felt pretty reasonable. Oh, there's a sound you don't hear much anymore. There was a whole snafu on the boards about how his face wasn't accurate, and how would you know? Does his face even appear in the movie? It doesn't look like the original toys, so I'm guessing it's just nostalgia goggles, but I do kind of understand the complaint from an aesthetic perspective. This is nothing. This is just another Bayverse face. The Toy Head Jolt had a lot more personality, but here we are. Yep, that is not the pyramid. Chicago, it's, you know, famous for the bean. I visited this summer on a road trip, and the bean was closed off, so, I could not flick it. My heart was broken. I will never go back. Any fans of the bear here? And of course, we have to remove his whips. Boop. Bazinga. What are we looking at here? Huh? A little bit kibbly, a little bit kibbly maybe, but I do kind of like the way it flows off of him. It's a little cape-like, little crosshairs before crosshairs. Got his big zappy fingers. Ooh. So he's got a little bit of a faux tire knee situation, which is kind of cool. Nice detail. No ankle pivot. Ooh, is that supposed to be? Ooh, that is tight. Don't snap. Yeah, no, it's, ooh, does not want to go the other direction. Let's check this side. Okay, so maybe that's a locking point. Leg articulation is pretty limited. Very much not a fan of the clear plastic here. Yeah, he can stand okay. Lack of ankles is a little bit of a bummer. Shoulder balls are a little loose, but nothing that a little bit of goo can't fix. Ooh, single jointed elbow. Yikes. That's as far as it goes. And I know that the thumbs can come off. And you can pop his little whips. Whip, 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 whip. Oh, these aren't made of bendy plastic, but it is softer, which is good because otherwise it would just snap like a stock. I think these tabs here are just for storage on vehicle mode. Oh, and the wrists don't swivel either. That's quite unfortunate. I was about to say he could do that cool thing where he's attached to the dreads and fighting them, but that wasn't him. That was Dino. Another nothing character, not even the same color. I am a fan of the chest design though. Color separation is really nice and it has a very angular shape. That's fine. Eyes are a little lifeless. It does appear to be accurate to the box. Whether or not that's accurate to the movie, we'll never know. I think he has some presence. Very standard Bayverse kind of bot, but I do enjoy the way the car kibble drapes off him. It does feel a little purposeful. It feels like an aesthetic choice rather than just throw it all on there. Little dynamic. If only his posing was as dynamic. Because the legs can basically do nothing. Loose balls and no wrists make Jolty a dull boy. Even the head is pretty limited. Can only go about that far to the side because of how long the back of it is. Not much for posing. Maybe the transformation will be fun. She says very nervously. That does not feel nice. Yeah, okay. I understand why this is all made of clear plastic, you know, for the vibes, but I do not like the level of pressure I'm having to apply to it to get everything to snap together. I do not like it one bit. That didn't sound good. It was not a happy noise at all. Okay, so this really is just the mushroom pegs have some mold flash on them. Oh man, there we go. Okay, yeah. I guess you could call this a little bit of an ankle pivot, but it doesn't seem particularly useful. Appears to be a stress mark on the inside. I'm thinking that must have happened during assembly because I cannot imagine how else it happened. Please. Car accident mode. Well, that was a shambles. That was not fun in the slightest. It is very solid now because there are far too many tabs everywhere. It rolls nice. I don't know. It's a good car. It's a good looking little car, but I find it difficult to enjoy any of it because that was not a fun transformation. No, not at all. Did not like stinky. Uh-oh, yucky. It didn't feel like it was gonna break necessarily, but that clear plastic just feels so thin. I even took off the thumbs. I don't know if that actually made a difference. Can I pop them back in? Not without untransforming him. I don't have the emotional energy for that. Wow, so cool. Wow. I can understand why this one is on sale. I think a lot of the Studio Series cars have this problem where they get a practically perfect alt mode at the cost of a posable robot mode and a fun transformation. I think the only difference with Jolt is that he is a nobody character, but a nobody character from one of the worst movies who barely appears in it. And unlike so many of the other characters that fit that archetype, he turns into a normal car. So he's nothing special and he's a little bit frustrating, but I think he'll fit in nicely here. Hey, look at him. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things costs a normal amount of money. I really wanted to like you, but I just don't think it's gonna work out. Into the drawer he goes. Also just discovered that you can put his thumbs on the side doors. So, cool.